So following Amanda Todd's suicide, there were a ton of people who tweeted and made YouTube videos and Facebooked all about this girl, and all about, even more than talking about this girl's death, talking about anti-bullying and saying how bullying is bad, and cyberbullying, and not just physical bullying. That's not the only kind of bullying. We gotta fight against bullying. Bullies are bad people. We gotta fight back. And I really think this whole sentiment is just insultingly simplistic, and it's not going to help anyone. It's one of these causes, like the anti-suicide or the anti-bullying cause, where you really don't have to do anything. You just have to tweet, and it makes you feel better for a while. And so it's one of those causes that gets popular on the internet because people love to be armchair activists. So first and foremost, I think it's a circle jerk. I'm just going to come right out and say, I think this whole anti-bullying movement is just a circle jerk, and let me explain why. Now, first and foremost, it divides people into this bullied and bully category. That's a false dichotomy. That's not reality. I can say 100% honestly that I have bullied people many times in my life, and I can also say with honesty that I have been bullied many times in my life. We are not living in a world where it's the bullies and the non-bullies. People bully each other, and then the next day they might be a nice guy to each other. It's not this, it's not this fight against an evil as like a Mordor, like, oh, we gotta fight against, the pure, unmitigated evil of bullies. No, that's not how it works. And the really sad thing about it is that it convinces people that little bullying, that's not real bullying. That's not real bullying. Just being a little bit mean, calling someone fat or a bitch or something like that. That's not really bullying. That's not like what happened to Amanda Todd. That's real bullying, But that's not how bullying works. And because I've been bullied and seen people be bullied before, I know that the way it actually works in most circumstances is that it's a culmination of a lot of comments, a lot of negativity that's directed towards you. It's not usually some archetypal, Neanderthal asshole like there is in a TV show who comes over to rub your face in dirt or something like that, because that's not how reality works. There's not some big mean bully man walking around, because that kind of stuff gets nipped in the bud now. It's these just massive, just the negativity directed at the people in the school who people just tend not to like. And so then you get in this world where these high school kids think, or these middle school kids think, oh yeah, well, I'm not really being a bully, like, oh, nasty Steve over there who really made fun of that girl for having misshapen tits or something, that was really mean, that's real bullying. But when I called Craig, a lisping asshole earlier because he has a speech impediment, that wasn't really bullying, that's just a little thing, And that's the insulting part of it, is that it seems to just be a big circle jerk where people can say, oh yeah, I tweeted this thing, I'm anti-bullying, therefore all the actions in my life where I might have bullied someone, those are all just null and void, I'm against it now, and I never did anything that bad. And it's just silliness to me. I don't really care for it. I think it's kind of like trying to fight terrorism. You're never going to win a fight against terrorism. You're never going to win a fight against bullying. Not to say that either of those fights are intrinsically bad. They can have tangible benefits, but it's not a fight worth fighting. It's not, or at least in this current form, it's not worth fighting. It really, I think, should focus on kids spending a lot more time looking inside them and thinking about what they could say to someone that could hurt their feelings, as opposed to just outsourcing all that blame and saying, oh yeah, it's the real bullies that cause the damage, the real bullies, not me, just my subtle, clever wit and wordplay making fun of people sometimes, And that's not to say that like a joke at someone's expense and busting someone's balls is bullying, because that's the opposite end of the spectrum, and that's also completely retarded, where someone's like, oh, you called me a poopy-headed mean face, that's bullying, So I guess you got to take this whole thing with a grain of salt, but as far as I can tell, this whole anti-bullying thing, it seems like these kind of the people tweeting these hashtags and, all this pseudo-compassionate bullshit, those are the same kind of people who the next day will tweet at Justin Bieber or something like, oh, I hope you go hang yourself in a closet, faggot, or something like that. Like, it just seems remarkably disingenuous, and I don't care for it. So that's not to discount the entire movement, since it's already fallacious to try and address an entire movement based on the subsect of people I saw on Twitter, but that's how I feel about it. Hope you enjoy. Yeah, leave a comment. Tell me how you feel.